All right, y'all. Sonic King Fit, man, back for another video. So today in this video, guys, I gave you a glimpse into another one of my workouts. Recently, I've been doing a lot of pull-ups lately. So on average, I've been doing 200 pull-ups every workout. So I wanted to just give you guys a soft glimpse into my workout. And I started out right here, as you can see, with pull-ups. So right here, you're looking at, that's the first 10 I did. And I actually did 30 more pull-ups before I even got going. I just like to do my pull-ups to get my body loose and then get right to the workout. So I don't even count the warm-up pull-ups that I did, but I did do 3 sets of 10 before I even got on camera. But this is 10 sets of 10. So this is 100 pull-ups. And this is a lot of work. Because as you guys well know, doing pull-ups is not easy. And then I was also doing them with a limited amount of rest. I think on average I was probably doing from set to set between about 30 to 45 seconds, maybe to a minute on a break. But as you do your pull-ups, guys, if you can get to 10 is a good number. I've done sets of 20, I've done sets of 30. Doing sets of 10, honestly, it just makes you so much stronger. And I know it sounds weird because that's less reps, but I'm telling you, when you do sets of 10 on your pull-ups, and don't forget, I don't know if you guys know this or not, I'm 6'5" and I'm 225 pounds. So I'm gonna be honest, doing pull-ups is not easy anymore because I'm putting a lot of weight. Even muscling up has gotten hard. I used to be able to do muscle-ups, 8 to 10 muscle-ups. I can't do that many anymore at 225 pounds. When I used to do them before, I was doing them at around 205 body weight. 210, they started to get a little heavy. I got to 215, it was tough muscling up. I'm at 225 now. So doing pull-ups is definitely hard because the body weight that I'm carrying on each pull, it gets tough, man. But you can't sit back and let, your body weight be an excuse for you not to work. You have to continue to work if you truly want to give yourself the body you've always wanted. So we don't let excuses get in the way when it comes to working out. We just keep pressing a little bit harder. Now, I'm not counting these pull-ups, so I don't really know where I'm at. I think it could be at 30 or 40 at this point, but you guys will be counting at home just to know that doing this many pull-ups in a short amount of time is not easy to do. But when you first start doing pull-ups like this with this kind of volume, first few times you do it, it's going to be pretty tough. Now, I'm not saying it's not tough altogether because it is tough to do pull-ups, sets of 10 for 10, 10 sets, and try to get, a good rep count going and pretty much like a good rhythm going as far as like getting it done. But like when you first do it, it's going to be tough. But as you get to doing it each and every time, it actually does get a little bit easier. But I'll tell you now, when you get to the numbers between sets of 10, 50 to 80, that's when you find out what you're made of. Because if you can get to those 4 sets of 50 to 60, 60 to 70, and 70 to 80, you can finish the 100. But trying to get through those 4 sets, if you haven't built a good rhythm, if you don't have a lot of hand grip strength, if you don't have a lot of back strength, you won't make it. This is why I do this workout, because being able to get through those numbers, 80 through 90 and 90 to 100, that's just like the cherry on top. You already know you're going to make it. You just got to finish out. So, but that's the hard part, is trying to make sure you not knock these sets out of 10. Because at first, you're going to feel the first 3 sets of 10, 10, 10. You're like, oh, I got this is a breeze. Once you get to 40 and 50, you might start seeing sets of 8, sets of 7. You know what I'm saying? So this is where you really got to hunker down, tighten up your grip. And if you're struggling with your grip strength, this is a perfect routine to get stronger just with your grip. because it's not easy to maintain a grip like this throughout 10 sets of 10. So you got to keep working, man. You know, and something else that I started doing, I tried to use less legs and just straight upper body, because you've seen in some of the pull-ups I've done, the videos I've done, that I kind of was kipping, and I did want to fix that. So when I went down to sets of 10, I realized that I can get good form. And that's what your goal should be at the end of the day when you're doing your pull-ups, is do good, clean form rep pull-ups. Don't just do pull-ups to try to get your chin over the bar. Now, if you're a beginner trying to just like get pull-ups in, do them how you got to do them, whatever you got to do. But as you progress with consistency and form and sets and reps, notice how my form and my consistency is pretty much the same. You know, I'm not kipping. My shoulders are doing most of the work. My arms are pulling. But you're not seeing anything that tells you I'm using bad form. I'm using good form here. So the more progressive you become with the exercise, the better your form should be. I know a lot of people believe you should have great form from the beginning. It's hard to have good form when you can barely do 5 to 6 to 10 pull-ups. So once you get strong enough to have good form, and once your body is developed enough, you have enough muscle up in your upper body, then you should have good form. You've worked enough, you've worked hard enough with your core, you've worked hard enough with your lats, you've worked hard enough with your delts, you've worked hard enough with your hand grip strength. Your form should look a lot better. People who don't have those things, their form is going to be terrible, and that's okay. You just got to work at it to get better at it. This is why I say pull-ups is like pretty, in my opinion, probably the number one exercise. The only reason I say push-ups is probably better is because you can do them anywhere. With pull-ups, you need a bar. But effective, as far as being effective, pull-ups are number one, without a doubt. And you can't see it, but anybody who knows anything about pull-ups and has been doing pull-ups for years, guys, pull-ups will give you a full upper body pump. And I know that sounds crazy because you're just working your back and your biceps, but the blood will pump your entire upper body, and you will pump from a pull-up, just doing pull-ups. This will be my, I want to say 9th or 10th set, but like, your body will pump with blood just doing pull-ups, because it's a hard exercise, very difficult. So you can get pumped from push-ups, you can get pumped from bench, but you certainly can get a full body pump doing pull-ups. So don't ever forget that. The more pull-ups you do, the stronger you become. And if you're not doing pull-ups, you probably don't have a really, really strong bench. But if you're doing pull-ups regularly, my bench has gone up so much more since I started doing these pull-ups, sets of 10 for 10 sets, because your lats get so strong. And in case you guys are unaware, if you want a really strong bench, you got to have really strong lats. It's just the way it is, guys. If you don't have strong lats, one of the key things you'll see when somebody who doesn't have strong lats, they can't get the full range of motion on the bench. It's very difficult for them to get that bar down to the chest the heavier that bench press gets, because it takes a toll on those lats trying to go down on the eccentric part of that movement when you're coming down. So a lot of people can't handle that kind of weight coming down on an eccentric bar movement. But when you do, I'm gonna pause this for a minute. Let's see what I gotta say.
All right, that's a warm-up. We just did 100 pulls, 10 sets of 10. Now we're going to overhead press. We'll pause the video for a little bit just to get set up. Nothing that should take too long. So we're gonna go to press and then clean press it. So we'll press it, put it down, come back and clean it into a press. All right, guys.
All right, so I think I'm going to go into the press.
Set at 185 on the press.
What I was talking about was overhead pressing. And then I'm going to
We're
drop
gonna
the
do 2
barbell,
reps,
and we're going to go down to a clean,
185.
and then we're going to press it back.
Set it on the ground.
10 pull-ups in between.
10 pull-ups.
Clean, back to the press.
Then come back and clean
But
the
what I
bar
was saying
into a
about
press.
benching
Do 2 more
is
reps at 185.
you'll see guys who can
know
do
anything
heavy
about
benches,
pressing
but
is
some of them
super
can't do
hard.
full range just because they don't have strong lats.
You
got
wonder
to
why
have
the
strong
world's
legs
strongest
to
men
handle that heavy
competition guys are
press
so strong.
on the eccentric part of the
It's because
movement,
of the press.
which is why your bar
These guys
pass should
can
be a
press
lot slower. And you see
315,
those guys who's
405
dropping
on
the
the
bar on
press
the chest and
overhead.
trying to push it back up.
And you got to be
That's
really,
not an
really strong
effective
to
way
do
to do
that.
bench.
So
That's how you tear
if you're really
a
trying to get your bench
honestly.
numbers up,
So
you need to be overhead pressing, and certainly you need to be
I would,
cleaning
if
into
I
a
were
press.
you, what I started
Because
doing,
it's hard to clean into a press.
start
for sure,
taking
so
the bar path down to your
you're about
chest a
to see
lot
it,
slower.
so.
Because when you hit your chest with it, the strength of your lats and your front delts is going to determine if you can even get it up anyway. So come down slow and then get back to business on the push. And if you got strong delts and strong lats, you should be able to get it up. But that's really how you do a proper bench, in my opinion. So yeah, we're going to open up with 185 on the overhead press. And you can see that I'm going to press this for 2 reps, and then we're going to set it down, and then I'm going to do 10 pulls, and then we're going to come back, and then we're going to clean it. We're going to clean it. And if you don't know what cleaning is, you're about to see. Cleaning is like one of the best ways to get strong on the barbell. A lot of times you see those guys doing the powerlifting and you see power cleans. That's what I'm really talking about, a power clean. And you got to be strong enough to even jerk the bar into a power clean, because it's not easy to even do that. And we're going to start at 185, but let's get to these pulls real quick before we get back to these cleans. And I'm going to just touch up on how I got into cleans. Now, a lot of people don't believe you should clean. You shouldn't do power cleans. Some people believe that. And that's fine. Everybody has their own opinion of what they think is effective and what's ineffective for their bodies. But I think if you're going to clean, if you're going to do power cleans, number one, you need to already have strong rear delts, because that power clean is going to hit those rear delts when you're trying to stop the bar on the clean. So your rear delts need to already be there. If you don't have strong rear delts, you're going to mess your shoulders up. So keep that in mind. But mainly the rear delts, the entire delt really, but the rear delts are going to handle the brakes. When I flip this bar and it stops, that's going to be my rear delts causing that bar to stop. So I got 185 to hit a power clean, and then we're going to press. You flip, you hit the flip, now we got to press. I'm telling you, that is not easy to do. Of the things that I've done since I started working out, that's probably the hardest thing I've done. Go from a power clean to a press. Now it's 185, which is a decent amount of weight, especially since I'm pressing it off of a power clean. I'm gonna say this because I didn't believe it until I saw it. If you follow the NFL, like there's some really, really super strong players in the NFL, but one of them you wouldn't think is this strong, but he is.
Cleaning into a press is like one of the hardest things you can do. If you really want to get your bench numbers up, get your press numbers up, get any exercise in your upper body higher, go from a clean to a press, man. That's how hard it is. All right, I'm gonna go to 195. It's at 185 right now. I'm gonna pause the tape, come back to 195. I don't think you guys want to see me set it up or whatever. All right, y'all, we're back.
I think we got 195 on the bar.
You can see the little black
Yes,
5 on the
195,
side, so that's 185.
5-pound plate on the side there. It's on the other side.
This time we're gonna still try to go for 2, and it's gonna be hard. But we're gonna try to do 195 for 2.
Press it again.
Set it down. Do the 10
I'm gonna get back to the statement.
Come back and at least try to hit it for 2. But realistically, I probably can get it for 1. It's gonna be pretty tough. And then we'll get to 205, and that'll be a 1 for 1. 1 rep, 10 pulls, and another rep, 205. It's gonna be pretty hard, so let's give this a shot, man. This is like some serious punishment training, but I'm telling you, it gets you strong as an ox, man. If you really want to take your training to that level, man, you see my delts, so you already know what I look like. You see my video, so this is some of the intense training that I do every day, 5-6 days a week, every day. I take 1 day off a week sometimes, but usually it's intense the whole way. So let's do 195, try to get it for 2, and then we're gonna drop it down, do 10 pulls, come back and try to re-rack it on a clean and a press for 1.
All right, I'm going to press this 195. I think what I was talking about, how, you know, the world's strongest men, how they get these huge delts and how they get these great big numbers when they do these competitions. It comes from the overhead press. These guys can overhead press 315, 375, 415, 45, and they get up there on these presses overhead. So that's why it's so impressive to see how strong they are when they lift these like Atlas boulders and stuff like that. It's because they got this pressing strength from the up top. It's the hardest lift you can do as far as your upper body. It's 195. I couldn't even get it at first, so I had to set the bar back down, kind of regroup. And I was thinking about stopping the tape, but I was like, man, I know I got 195 for at least 1. So that's, in my mind, that's why I was convinced. I was like, I can get this on the second go. I just got to get myself together. But back to what I was saying, the NFL has a lot of strong players. There's one particular player that just impressed me. I heard about what he did, and I just could not believe it. I had to see it. And, you know, it just shows my lack of belief, because you would think he can't do this, but he can. And I'm talking about a wide receiver, okay? Now, you think, if I say one of the wide receivers in the NFL can clean, you know what I'm saying, you would probably think like DK Metcalf. Like, he's 6'5", like 235, 40 pounds, solid as a rock. Dude is just ripped. He probably could win like a bodybuilding title. That's what his body looks like physically. But I ain't talking about him. I'm not talking about DK. I'm talking about Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase can power clean 315. I couldn't believe it. I had to look it up, and look it up on YouTube. Put in Jamar Chase, wide receiver for the Cincinnati Bengals, power cleans 315. It'll shock you. And I mean, he almost did it. It looked like he did it pretty easy, but he did. I couldn't believe it. So, you know, some things just blow you away by some of these athletes sometimes. And for me, it just helped me realize, like, man, I'm a long way from like being super strong. When you see a wide receiver in the NFL just power clean 315, like, you know, he's doing a push-up. So I just got to get stronger, and it certainly inspired me when I saw that video. But yeah, check it out. Jamar Chase, power cleans 315. So, I mean, I think he might be like 5'11", like 180, 190 maybe. So, but he's strong, obviously. It takes a lot to do a power clean like that. But yeah, we got the 195 up for 2. We did the 2 pulls. Now we got to come back and clean it, then rep it on the overhead. Guys, this is the kind of workout you really want to be doing if you want to get extra strong. If you want to take your body to that limit. If you want to get that heavy 315 bench. You know, if you're not there yet and you're trying to get there, it's stuff like this that's going to get you there. Like, yeah, you could rep 2 reps all day at 275 or 255 on the bench, trying to inch your way up there. Or you could do like power cleans in the presses and go from like 275 to 315 in a week. Like, that's how strong this stuff will get you. You just got to stay consistent doing it. Like, when I started doing cleans, I was only doing 1 rep. And that was just on the re-rack. I would re-rack it to where you see those, the racks are behind me. I would re-rack it and sit it on there. And I would do 1 rep at a time. So now you see me power cleaning from just re-racking. I wasn't even power cleaning to know that that's what I was trying to do. I had seen it a few times and I tried it initially at like 135 and did like 8 to 10 reps. I didn't like how I felt after like the 5th or 6th rep, but I kept going.
That was taxing.
And I did kind of tweak my shoulder.
I can't believe I got it done. I think I was going to do it. This is real work right here. All right. We're going to set up for 205. See if I can get it. All right, guys, you can see.
So yeah, I did tweak my shoulder doing it.
And we're trying to go 1 for 1. So this 205. This is not light. You know, it's a different level when you get to 200 pounds on the press. Just on the bench press, like, again, do 200 pounds, 225. The goal is 225, but right now we're sitting at 205. And I did do this yesterday where I pressed it and cleaned it press it again, but I wasn't recording. So this led me to get the selfie stick so I could record this, because I gave my selfie stick to my brother, so I didn't have anything to record it with. And I didn't think I was going to clean 205 into a press, so now I got to do it on camera. So, like I said, we're going to go 1 for 1. One rep, drop it down, 10 pull-ups, come back, clean it, rep it up again. You cannot do this exercise without exploding. This is what's so good about it. You got to explode on the press up, and then you got to explode on the clean, and then back into a press. So it requires a lot of energy. So this is not easy at all. So if you haven't been practicing stuff like this is not the time to try sitting at 205. You might want to try this with like just a bar, or maybe like 10s on the side. So you have to really, really try to work for this. So let's get to the work.
I did tweak my shoulder doing it, so I laid off power cleaning for a while. Because honestly, I didn't know how to do it. That's the truth. I didn't know how to do the flip. I didn't know how to properly do the shoulder movements. And so I slowly just started doing 1 rep at a time on a re-rack and kept going up. So it started at 135, and then I got to 155. And then one time I tried 175. And I got to 185, and it was just too much. And then one day I got 185. So I knew then, I said, I got to try 195. The first few times I tried 195, I didn't come close. It was just too heavy. But then I got 195. And then yesterday, I'm doing this stuff from this video I'm recording. I did all this today. All right, I did it today. Yesterday, I pressed power clean, then pressed again 205, except I wasn't recording it. So then I went to the store. I was like, I can't keep doing this stuff and not recording it. So I've been doing the recording, and I gave the selfie stick away to my brother. And so I was like, dang it. I was like, I got to get another one. So went and got one today and recorded. So you just saw me press 205. Now I got to come back and clean 205 into a press. So that's where we're at. We're doing the pulls. We're going to try to knock them out, which we did. And so 205 on a clean right here. I did it the day before, so I got no problem with this. I already had all the confidence in the world to hit this clean. Even though I think 205, at this point I think I can probably clean 225 if I stay consistent. I feel like I can. 225, I should be able to get that. Then even possibly 245 in a week. So going into this 205 clean, I was like, I should get this. Let's see what happens. So we get the clean. And I was like, all right, it's time to press this bad boy. And this is where I made my mistake, because I kept walking backwards with the weight instead of just taking it straight up from the point I snatched it and cleaned it. And so I was unable to get it. And I was like, man, I should never, ever do that again. Once you snatch something and clean it, you would power clean it, take it straight up. And that's the lesson I learned with that. Because I was unable to get the 205 from all the energy it took me to hold that weight and walk backwards.
Well, we cleaned it, we just couldn't press it. I think where I made a mistake, when I started backing up into place to try to press it so I could rack it, I should have just pressed it straight up as soon as I got it there. It took too much energy backing up. I was unable to lift the bar. So I will go ahead and press it one more time just to press it. I got to complete the exercise, even though I got the clean, I just got to press it off the rack. So let's go hit 205 one more time.
So now I had to go back and try to just rep it one time off the clean, or off the rack, because I couldn't go to the press off the clean. But I'm telling you guys, this is the ultimate challenge if you're really, really trying to get your numbers up. It requires a lot of stamina, endurance, strength, all of that, and you still have to explode. Like, it takes every bit of everything you have to go from a clean to a press. It's that hard. Try it at lightweight. Try it at 115. Try it at 135. If you're not into pressing, you'll find it's very difficult to do it. If you think benching 225 is hard, I'm telling you, try a power clean at 135 into a press. It'll shock you. So now we got to try to get this 205 back off the rack in the air. And I didn't have it. I was just too gassed. I was a little disappointed that we couldn't get it, especially since I got it the day before and I've gotten it many times. I was out of energy.
It's going to be a fail, guys. Couldn't quite get it up, so we're just going to have to move on to the next exercise. I've been trying to press that all day. I'm going to go to bench, do some incline bench today. Do about 6 or 7 sets of bench incline. I haven't been on that in a while, so we're going to pick up over there.
So we just moved it along to the bench, and this time we did incline bench. Because I haven't done incline bench in a while, and I've been wanting to do it. Besides the last 5 days I've been benching, it's either been decline or flat. So today we did incline. And I always try to start off with a set of push-ups, decline, elevate my feet, puts more pressure on your shoulders, but it definitely hits the whole chest. So get your push-ups in between sets. Always superset your push-ups with bench. I don't care what anybody says, you get a stronger bench just from doing it. And it seems like you'll be weaker. And it may feel that way at first if you've never done it for the first couple times you do it. But over time, you're going to feel yourself getting stronger. You're going to have a lot more reps on your push-ups, and you'll have a lot more clean presses on your bench. Stick to doing it. It's the long haul. If you think what you do 1 time or 2 times doesn't work, don't give up. Stick to it, and you'll find that your body will adapt and adjust, and you will see the gains just falling out the sky. You gotta just stick to it. I'm only saying that from experience. I'm not saying it because somebody else told it to me. I'm not saying it because that's what influencers are saying. I'm saying it because I believe in it. I proved it. I've lived it, and I can see it in the mirror. It works. Like they say, trust the process, trust your growth, trust the maturation, trust your training, and you'll see the growth. Still trying to get 225 for 10. Only got it for, I believe it was for 8. But that's an incline. The goal was 10. But going into it, I just wanted to see how many I could do. So I had really, really good control over the bar. And I don't even do 225 anymore on a flat bench or decline. I don't even open up with that anymore. So 225 felt fairly light on an incline. That's why you see me hitting it for 8. I usually open up with, now I'm opening up with 275 on the flat bench and the decline. That's my first set. So 225 on incline for 8. A little disappointed. I thought I would hit it for 10, but still 8 is pretty good. So still we like to hit our goals. So, but I'll take the 8. I feel like I get maybe one more, but it was tough. I didn't want to come out, go 8, then fail on 9, so I just took the 8. But yeah, we go to another set of decline push-ups. See the delts are looking real fiery. Guys, if you want your delts on point, you got to do presses. People ask me, what do you do for shoulders? Because they always ask me to see my shoulders. So how much are you doing for lateral raises? And I'm like, I don't even do lateral raises. I don't do that stuff. I do one exercise for shoulders, and it's the barbell overhead press. That's it. That exercise does enough for your body every rep. But now I do power cleans. So I guess you could say I do that for shoulders too. But
So
It's
we'll
the
do 2 at
heavy lifting.
245. Well, right now we're at 225. 2 for 225.
It's the
2
presses.
sets,
It's the
and
cleans.
245 for 2 sets.
It's the stuff that guys
And then
don't want to
275
do
for 2
at the
sets.
gym
However
that I
many
do
reps,
every day.
maybe 1 or 2 reps at 275.
When you do stuff like that every
That's
day,
it, though.
your body is going to respond. So, guys, if you're not pressing overhead, if you're not, I don't want to say if you're not power clean, because everybody does it power clean, but if you're not overhead pressing, your gains are going to be limited, because most of your strength in your upper body comes from your shoulders. You see those guys getting those bench press and shoulder injuries. The real reason why guys get injured on the press, on bench press, is because their shoulders are underdeveloped. Your delts aren't strong enough to handle those heavy benches. And in order for you to handle a heavy bench, you got to be able to handle a heavy overhead first. Once you can handle a heavy overhead press, then hopping on a bench is really pretty easy. I tell people all the time, like, they see me putting up 3 plates, no spot. But I'm like, bro, if you just get on this press with me, like you've been seeing me do for the last 2 years and haven't done it, you'll see why my bench is so good. But nobody does it. The reason why that is, because guys don't want to have to keep doing hard exercises. Over time, our tendencies will come out in life in the gym. I want to say that again. Over time, your tendencies in life will come out at the gym. I'm a hardworking person. I've always been that way. When I go to work, I'm at work. I don't mess around. I get to work. I don't do nothing that I shouldn't be doing when I'm working. So I'm focused. And if it's something that's difficult to do, then I focus on that task until it's over while I'm working. But people have tendencies to do what they are comfortable doing because when they're not at the gym, they do things that are easy repetitiously when they're not at the gym. Right? So if they're used to ordering Uber Eats at home when they're hungry as opposed to going to get the food and coming back, then that tendency will eventually show up at the gym to where they're lifting and doing light exercises because it's easier for them, as opposed to saying, man, I probably should get on this press, or I probably should get on the squat rack. Nah, I'm going to just do RDLs with light dumbbells. Or I'm going to do lateral raises with 15s. Yeah, you'll get the muscle development, but you won't get the strength. You got to get the strength in your body, because you can't deny strength. Strength is going to eventually play out in your body. If you have the strength, the muscle development will come. Which is why I do heavy presses, which is why I do bench, which is why I do push-ups in between sets, which is why I do a ton of pull-ups. Those are all strength exercises. None of them are easy. None. They're all tough. And if you do them 5 to 6 days a week, well, eventually your strength is going to pull through. It's going to show. And it's going to show physically. People think I'm taking gear. I'm not taking any gear, man. You don't need to take gear to get this strong. You got to be consistent more than anything. And you got to stick to your guns. You got to stick to the exercises that got you there. I'm not going to ever stop pressing, ever. I'm pressing at 90 years old. Because I want strong shoulders. Here's another set of me doing push-ups in between sets. You should still be doing those if you really want to get those high-definition shoulders, those 4K shoulders. Now, I think we're going, okay, so we're at 245 on the bar. And when I do 245, it feels a little bit different. It feels heavy, but it doesn't feel like I can't get it. So, like, the first 3 reps at 245, are just pure, for me it's poetry in motion, because I feel the barbell all the way down, and I feel that intense pressure pushing back up. And it's a great feeling those first 3 reps. But I get to rep 4 and 5, whew, that's when it's tough. So you see me, I think I'm switching out. I'm about to switch out gloves here because those Milwaukees are good, but they're really just good for the bars, the pull-up bars. But that barbell gets heavy when you start adding weight on it. 245 is still something I can use with the red gloves, but I have some lifted gloves now, so we're about to see them in a minute. But when I get to 275, I always switch them out. Because the other ones they got the lifting gloves with the wrap. Let's protect your wrist, and you should protect your wrist. The first time I did 315, maybe about 6 months ago, or maybe 5 months ago, something like that. No, it was about 7 months ago, back in July. We're in January now. First time I did 315, I felt it in my bones. Like literally, I felt it in my bones. I was like, dang, 315 is heavy. So when I hit that 1 rep of 315, the next day, my bones and my wrists hurt. And I was like, wow, I've never felt that. So as soon as that happened, the next day I went and got some heavy lifting gloves for weightlifting, because you do need to protect your wrists. You do need to protect your hands. For a while, I couldn't lift because I think I lifted so many days in a row that I struck a nerve in my left hand, and I couldn't barely close my hand for 2 days. So I had to come back and take some time off to let my hand heal. But I think it was the fact that I had thin gloves and I had all that weight on the bar. So that's another reason I went and got those gloves too, to protect my palm. That barbell gets heavy, and as that weight stacks up on you, it goes through your hands and it hits the bone. It may not feel like that, but it does. It may not look that way, but it does. And it gets pretty heavy now. It gets intense, man. So protect yourselves when you got this heavy equipment or heavy weights, on top of your chest coming down, going up. Because, the worst thing, we've all seen those injuries to where like pec tears, guys going to re-rack and he doesn't rack it, or just somebody can't get the bar up, trying to, slide out from under the bar with no spotter. And it could be a dangerous thing, man, so you don't want to put yourself in that position. I never try to climb up under a barbell that I know I can't lift. If I do, I know I should have a spotter, and I'll likely get one. But even when I think I got it, sometimes I may not. But I know if I'm going to try to go for it, I need to be thinking, all right, what's the alternative if I can't get it? That's where my mind is. Because that's how we should be thinking. When I get up on that barbell, even if I can't get this up, what do I do? I'm thinking that before I hit the press. Because in benching, it's easy to get hurt. In pressing, it's almost impossible to get hurt. Overhead pressing, it's almost impossible. People all think, oh man, I don't want to do that. I don't want to hurt my shoulder. I don't want the bar to fall on me. Brother, it's not going to happen that way. If you're trying to overhead press and it ain't going up, it's just not going to go up, bro. There's no spotter that's going to help you get it up there. It's just not going to go. So your body's going to give at that point. Your shoulder's going to give, and the bar's going to come down. And you know how to let a bar down. If it's not going to go up, you're going to step back. I've never been hurt on a press, ever. It's almost impossible to do because your inclination, your reflex of nature is going to tell you what to do when that bar is not going to go up. It's going to come down, so you know what you got to do to get out of its way. So presses are like the one of the safest exercises you can do, because you're not going to do nothing that's going to hurt yourself. So I think we got 245 for the second set. But he ain't after me though. I think he's just texting me siren. But yeah, so we got 245 on the second set, and I think the first set I got it for 5, but I wasn't really watching the video. I'm doing a lot of talking. You got to talk in these videos, man, especially if you want to do some commentary. 245 on a bar, no spot. I'm just trying to get maybe 3 to 4 reps. If I think I did my first set for 5, so I'm trying to get the second set for between 3 and 4. And right then, I think I decided to switch guards at the 245 point. Yeah. I wanted to be able to get a good clean press. I wanted my palm to be feeling good because I think my palm was starting to irritate me a little bit in my left hand. Those gloves are pretty good. I like them a lot. At first I was a little skeptical about them, but they're actually pretty good. You see me with the wrist wraps on them. They lock in pretty good. And it's a nice thick palm there to protect my palm. I know a lot of guys like to do the suicide grip where they're kind of just halfway gripping it, and the other part of their fingertips are over the bar, on top of the bar. I like to get a full wrap grip. I like to grab the bar with my hand and just squeeze that barbell as tight as I can. And I feel like it gives me so much more control over that barbell when I grip it tight and go to lift it. So I fully believe in that method. At first I didn't. I used to wrap with my thumbs on the bar at the bottom, and my brother convinced me that this is so much better, and he was right. So we got the 3 reps up, right? But I still think I owe 2 in my mind, because I just knew I had a couple more in me. But I just wasn't really confident about just going right to him. I needed to at least catch my breath. So we took a little, maybe like 30-second break or something like that. I think I hit it again for 2 more, or maybe 1 more. But I know I hit the bar again, so. Shout out to Vegantron Fit down in Tampa Beach, Tampa, Florida. J. Joe Fit, you know what I'm saying? We haven't done a video together in a while, but my guy J. Joe Fit is blowing up right now. He has ascended to that next level. This brother's volume is just taking over. I gotta shout out to J. Joe Fit. Shout out to Mo Pull-Ups, man. She's working on that one-arm pull-up, man, and she's almost there. She's been working on it for a minute, but I know she's going to get it, so. Shout out to the big 3, man. Shout out to Muscle Up Kev, wherever he's at. Elijah, my guy out in Arizona. Hakeem Supreme. Right now he's on world tour. I think he's out of California right now. We did a video together a few months back. We did a couple videos together. Go check it out on his page. You see me carrying a sandbag. He was in Dallas. And it was the first time I got to actually experience some of Akeem's workouts, because he doesn't quite do everything as systematic as maybe a lot of us would do. He does so many things with his hands that I learned so much from him, that being physically strong, it's more than being in the gym. That's something that I learned through him. We were hammering out the tires, with a sledge, which was very tiring. And then we carried a sandbag, which was incredibly heavy. I want to say it's probably around 150 pounds. He got it over his shoulder. I couldn't even get it above my waist, hardly. Maybe I got it to my chest, and had to carry it all the way outside to a truck and turn around and come back in. That was no less than like 50 yards and back or more. Wore me out. But go ahead and check out that video out on his page. It's on his Instagram page. You'll see it says Akeem Supreme and Sonic King Fit, and you'll see me carrying that sandbag. And it really, really put me to the test of how strong I can be and how strong I can even, how much more strong I can be. So, shout out to Akeem Supreme, man. He does a lot, man. So y'all check him out on Instagram, check him out on YouTube. He does a lot of intense workouts, man, and it's just almost like it never stops for him. He has a shirt that he made that says 50 muscle ups right now. And literally, he can do that. Like, he will open up with like 20 muscle ups in a row and 50 muscle ups in like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, less than that. Pretty impressive. So yeah, check him out. I can't think of anybody else right now. Forgive me if I can't. Shout out to my kids. CJ Short, Emery Short. My daughter just got her new car today. So her first new car, first car ever. She got it all by herself. I'm so proud of her. Yeah. So, you know, life brings you challenges, man. And right now the challenge is 275 on the incline bar. So it's tough right now. You know, this is the first time I've done incline for 275 on camera. I've done it a couple other times. No camera, got it. So I was feeling pretty good going into this rep or two. You know, 275 is a lot of weight. And so, like, if you can't get it, it's best to have a spot. But I felt pretty confident about that, so we'll just sit back and see what happens. And remember, I've been pressing. I did 100, probably close to 150 pulls, 160 pulls. 100, not 100, but maybe like 60, 80 push-ups already, maybe, along with the benches that I've been doing that you've been seeing. So I've been putting my body to do some work, you know. It hadn't even been 12 hours yet since my last workout, based on what's happening right here, because I got here around 10 a.m., so 12 o'clock. I left the gym the night before, maybe around 9. Nah. I left around 10. So yeah, just over 12 hours. But has my body fully recovered is the point I'm trying to make. And up to this point, I thought that it had. So I was feeling pretty good about this lift. I'll just let you guys know. Felt so good right there. But when I came down, I was like, oh snap, this is just too heavy. I said my right side came up better, and my left side barely came up. So I knew I was done for. We didn't get it. Didn't even attempt it again. I was lucky to get it on the first, the lower one, because I didn't think I was going to be able to get it there. Right away, I knew it wasn't coming up like I thought it would. Luckily, I was strong enough to get it racked, I see a lot of guys don't use the safety racks or the pins, the guards on the side. I like to use them, but the downside of that, if I can't get it up, that weight ain't coming off because I got those safety pins on there. So, luckily enough, I was able to rack it. That could have been tragedy. That could have been terrible. Everything I just got finished talking about as far as like the spotter and stuff, that's why you're supposed to have one, because that could have easily been me. Maybe I could have came forward with it, but still I'm risking injury rolling down my chest onto my my rib cage and into my pelvic area. That's still 275 pounds, so that's pretty dangerous, in my opinion. So yeah, we just took the 25s off and just went back to 225, and I ain't gonna lie, I was a little shook after that. So I probably could have went down to 245, maybe hit 3 reps or something like that. But chose 225, and I think at this point I was running out of battery on my phone. So I think I just hit this for one set and called it, because one, I didn't have any tape, and then two,
take a
I
set
almost
back.
got hurt. So
We'll try to get 225 for reps.
never underestimate the equipment that you're using, and don't overestimate your ability. That's the lesson I learned today. Don't underestimate the equipment you're using. Just because I lifted this before and got it 3 or 4 times on 3 or 4 different occasions doesn't mean I'm gonna get it this time. And I didn't. And so don't underestimate the fact that 275, even though you got it, don't guarantee you're gonna get it this time. And don't overestimate the fact that you got it, that you're gonna get it. So understand, this stuff is dangerous. And so when I'm drop back down to 225, I just want to get some reps in, man. Just kind of get our confidence back going. And yeah, this is a good video for me to see that, and for everybody else too. If you're watching my videos, go ahead and drop a like, drop a comment, tell me what you thought about it. Subscribe to the channel, of course. But everything doesn't always go as planned. I'm only doing one take on this stuff, so I don't have a second option here to try to make it happen on a cut and a retake, because I'm rolling through footage. I can't back up and say, no, let's do this again, I gotta cut it. No, I'm not doing that. You're seeing everything as it happens. So just like you saw the 205 press, when I went from a clean into a press and couldn't get the press, and then tried to racket it to go press it, I just couldn't get it, even though I had done it the day before. So, things happen, and you just got to keep rolling with the punches. And, we'll see you guys on the next one. But I think I've got like 100 push-ups real quick to do, because I know I always do 100 push-ups at some point during my bench routine. And I'm not sure, I don't think I've done them on this set yet. So I think that's what I'm about to do. But I'm really, really adamant always about doing those 100 push-ups. Now I can do 100 push-ups straight just on a flat surface, just hitting the ground. Now I'm trying to be able to do 100 push-ups elevated in a row, which is a lot harder. So you guys just count them out. I ain't finna do no counting. You see, I'm getting tired. I think I do one more set of bench after this, though. I think that was 60 push-ups right there. And I know you guys probably saw you just using like half or 3/4 range. Guys, you really don't want to lock out every rep on push-ups when you're doing this many push-ups. You don't want to get your tendons to be like that. That's something that Keem Supreme taught me. You don't need to lock out like that. You want to keep the tension on the muscle. That's how you get your muscles to grow. Keeping the tension on the muscle. So locking out every time, yeah, you're getting gains, but it's also hurting you down the road, because those tendons are getting weaker from the lockout every time. So keep the tension on the muscle, do half rep to 3/4 rep, and you get the gains that you want. And the bottom line is this, dog. There is nobody judging you. Some people may judge you by looking, but you're the ultimate judge. You're judging yourself. right? You're your biggest critic. So I'm completely satisfied with the reps that I'm doing for the results that I'm getting. I'm satisfied with it. So it's not a competition with anyone else other than me. I just want to make sure that when I do my reps, I feel the pump, I feel the burn, I feel the growth, and I feel like it's working. That's it. That's all that matters. Nothing else matters to me outside of that. Somebody always says to me before, man, you're not even doing full range. Well, obviously, I'm not going to say it to them, but they know nothing about push-ups to say that. Because if anybody knew about push-ups, there's multiple ways you can do them. Yeah, you can lock out. You can do quarter reps, shorties, half reps, 3/4 reps. I like the half rep to 3/4 rep more than anything because it gives you a solid push and you get to come back down almost all the way down before you do another push. It's perfect. Perfect. Keeps pressure on the delts, keeps pressure on the shoulders, keeps pressure on the chest the whole time. You guys seen some of my videos, so you see what my physique, pretty much looks like at this point. So mix up your push-ups, man. Right now, you always see me doing decline because I feel like I've mastered the regular ones, just your standards. I've mastered those in my mind, so I've moved on to just, strictly the decline. Now, once I start doing the declines at 100 a clip, then I'll move on to something else. But right now, I'm at about 60 to 70. Now, I have done 100 straight before, but I wasn't recording. But I want to be able to do 100 straight every single time I get down there. I can do that with the flat, regular, standard push-ups. I can do 100 straight every time, not even thinking twice. So now we're just moving on. We're just progressing, what they call that. Progressing to the next style of push-ups. And maybe the next style of push-ups I'll do will be just, either flat diamond or decline diamond, hand grip diamond. So it's always about progression and growing, and overloading that muscle, just so it can't take it no more. So I think this will be the last set, and then that's going to be it. I like how I hit the full range. See, I'm not completely locking out on that. Kind of my elbows are folded at the top. Not fully straight.
That's it, guys. I'm gassed. I ain't got no battery left in my phone. I still got another 100 pull-ups to go do. I'm gonna get them done, but they're not gonna be in this video. I ain't got no juice.
Subscribe to the video, guys.